What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today I have some tips for you on how to effectively play Zarya. Now, initially, I found that Zarya was very underwhelming. She had low damage, she had less health than other tank heroes, and lots of people think that she's just bad at first, but I'm here to tell you that that's really not the case. The key to playing Zarya well really comes down to understanding her shield mechanic. Now, she has two barrier abilities, one for herself and one for an ally, which will actually absorb damage. Now, when they do absorb damage, Zarya's energy will go up, which is on the middle of your screen, and it will go up to a maximum of 100, and when you have more energy, you will actually do more damage. Each point of energy grants 1% additional damage up to 100, so you can potentially be doing 100% more damage, though this does decay at 2% a second, though for each 4 damage absorbed, you will gain 1 energy point. Now, what this equates to is with one barrier absorbing up to 200 damage, a single barrier can equate to 50 energy points. So if you throw both of them out at the same time and they absorb all of the possible damage, you'll be at 100% energy right away. Once you understand this energy mechanic, you'll start having a lot more fun with Zarya. Now, as you may have imagined, the goal is to keep your energy as high as possible, and there's a few ways to do that. One of them is to bait the enemy, poke them, and then use the barrier once they start firing at you, because most smart players won't fire at you if you already have your barrier active. Now, don't actually use the barrier until you start taking damage, because you do actually have 200 shields with your health, so that will negate any extra damage you take as they will recharge. Now, do this as often as possible as well, as keeping your energy topped off really is the key to unlocking Zarya's potential. So poke out, let them start shooting at you, take a little bit of damage, pop that barrier, and then rinse and repeat. Using your barrier on an ally who is about to take damage is another way to gain some more energy, but it's harder to ensure that someone will take damage, but just use your best judgment with this and hope for the best, as it's not the end of the world if they don't take damage. I find that if there's another tank on the team, that is a good target for your barrier, so that makes Zarya kind of a good off tank, but again, most reliable energy generator is going to be yourself. A little bonus tip, Zarya's barrier will also remove debuffs, so if Mei, for example, starts to slow you, just pop your barrier and you'll be able to get away very easily, and in my books, this alone is reason enough to play Zarya. Zarya has two main attacks. First, she has her short range beam, and then she has a splash damage grenade of sorts, which is more longer range. Now, I find that I use the beam primarily, but the splash damage attack is great for shooting at anyone that is outside of the range of your short range beam, and the splash damage is nice if the enemy team is grouped up, and it's also especially useful for finishing off someone who's just outside of your particle beam's range. Another quick little tip, Zarya's beam can't be deflected by D.Va's defense matrix or Genji's deflect, so don't be afraid to keep on firing if you find yourself in either one of those situations. When it comes to target prioritization with Zarya, I find it best to focus on low health heroes on the backline, as Zarya can comfortably go in deep for a short period of time and not worry about taking too much damage with her defensive barrier. But with that being said, Zarya is not the most tanky hero in Overwatch compared to some of the other tanks, so she should limit how often she goes in deep. And now I find it best to go in deep, pop your barrier when you start taking damage, do some damage in return, and then retreat while waiting for your shields to recharge and your barrier to come off cooldown. It's also not the best idea to try to take on another tank one-on-one, because in the prolonged engagement, the other tank usually has the edge, because Zarya only has that barrier for a short period of time, and overall she has a smaller health pool. Zarya's ultimate, Graviton Surge, sucks in enemy heroes and inflicts a small amount of damage to them, and now, while this isn't the most useful ability alone, when coupled with a coordinated team, it can cause absolute devastation. So before you use Graviton Surge, it's best to make sure that your team is with you and that at least some of them have their ultimates available. Now, while it's not essential that you coordinate ultimates with Zarya, you will get the best result if you do, because Graviton Surge is pretty much designed to synergize with pretty much anyone else's ultimate. A quick little tip, if you aren't sure if anyone on your team has their ultimate available or not, and you're not on voice chat with them, you can actually press tab to open up the menu to check who has their ultimate available. You just want to look for that flaming blue check mark underneath an allied team member. Overall, Overall, Zarya is more of an off tank, as she can't take a hit very well compared to the other tank heroes, but she makes up for that in her raw damage potential. Click that like button if you have enjoyed this video, and if you have a suggestion for a future hero guide, be sure to leave that in the comment section down below. Now everyone, if you want to see more Overwatch content as well, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I do lots of Overwatch content on a regular basis. Now everyone, thank you so much for watching. This has been Asal, and I will see you guys next time.